everyone. This is BlockMedia, featuring the latest blockchain and cryptocurrency news. I'm the host, Justin Park. We have a very special guest today from Bitmax, Ariel Ling.
Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Pleasure to have you here with me. Could you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, my name is Ariel Ling. I'm the founding partner and the Chief Operating Officer for Bitmax.io. And Bitmax.io is actually one of the first Asian-based exchange that we've launched, and it is part of the global operating networks that we've got in terms of trading places, and it's part of the global digital mercantile. And the global digital mercantile, short for GDM. It's actually what we're looking at is basically 3 exchanges launched in one. Bitmax is in Asia-based, Singapore-based, and the other 2 we're looking at going after the North American markets under the regulatory path in terms of getting the proper license. And so I have been in the industry, coming from outside the industry, but from Wall Street. So I've worked in the industry for almost 18 years. Yeah, across basically merger acquisition, strategic planning, business development, and running the trading business across equity, fixed income, currencies. And so my entire team, the founding members are all coming from the similar Wall Street financial service background. And a lot of them are actually coming from the quant trading technologist / financial modeling perspective. And my partner, George Cao, Dr. Cao, he actually is one of the equity traders that I worked with in Barclay Capital days, almost 8-9 years ago. He's got tremendous amount of quant trading experience, and I'm more coming from the investment bank, trading management, and strategy perspectives. So he and I work together on this vision of actually combining the traditional Wall Street quant trading ideal with the fast-moving cryptocurrency trading together to build a new generation. That's
very interesting and good to hear. I was just going to ask you, you started your career in Wall Street and investment banks, like you said, 18 years. How do you think, as well as you and other founder and other key players in Bitmax are having roots in Wall Street, they started their career there. How do you think this distinguishes Bitmax from other cryptocurrency exchanges?
I think this is actually quite unique when you look, especially when you look at the 4 exchanges in the US, like the Gemini, the Coinbase, and the Bitmax. They're all funded by the engineers, technologists from Silicon Valley, right? And versus we coming from the Wall Street, and we have a much deeper understanding building up large-scale trading platform, right? Number 1. Number 2. With cryptocurrency emerging as a new asset form, we kind of, from a technology as well from a valuation and capital markets perspective, we have a much more deeper understanding for the regulatory framework from the trading expertise. And that is, all those 2 aspects of it have been kind of transpired into how we build the platform, how we build the venture, and how we actually looking at a bit more long-term roadmap perspective.
Long-term. Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, a handful of people are still skeptical about the already emerging blockchain technology, as well as the new digital asset cryptocurrencies. What would be your advice to these people with skepticism?
I think that you have to go down to the memory lane, the time train, go back to 1995, thinking about internet. So thinking about internet back in 1995, 1993, thinking about now, and then this is where, when I look at the blockchain, I look at the overall revolutionary aspects of blockchain. It took almost, 25 years from internet to be something, just a line code, to now, it's practically part of our life.
It was just something imaginative, which became tangible later.
Exactly, and it took 25 years to get where we are. But when you look at the blockchain technology, it lasts 3-4 years. The revolutionary, transformational aspect, it's impressive. So I would look at it, the skepticism is, there is certain skepticism from one is application perspective.
Okay, sure.
Because of lack of understanding of the technology, right? Second,
That's very true.
the skepticism is really coming from the valuation of that particular application. Meaning, blockchain as a decentralized type of technology, right now, just like internet in 1995, how far can you see the usage of that? So again, it could start with one or two industry, and then people are still looking to find a way to apply that revolutionary technology. And it takes some imagination, it takes some implementation, and it takes a lot of conviction and experience.
I have this feeling you're a very self-motivated person who's really interested in shooting for a total different new goal. As I said, you started your career in Wall Street, but what motivated you to tweak and maybe decide to prolong your career in this new industry?
Interesting. On the people that know me really well for 18 years on Wall Street, people thought I retired.
Okay, but not right.
No, but the thing was actually what really comes down to three elements. So my partner, George, is very visionary and he's a wonderful entrepreneurial with a wealth of trading experience. And I know him for almost close to 10 years.
10 years now.
And when he and I talk about this idea, this time last year, one of the first things that was very exciting and attractive for me is actually to look at a nascent industry that is in a tremendous amount of growth, like blockchain, crypto trading, and trying to find out there are many gaps and to make impact, to leverage what we've learned, what we've gained from a traditional finance perspective. So the first element is about being able to, make better, make it improving the industry. That is something quite exciting, right? You build something. Second is about learning aspects. So my 18 year, I kind of went through pretty much all the traditional asset class. Equity, fixed income, FX, commodities. I
would imagine.
So to some extent, you get to the point is like, is there anything new and exciting?
Okay.
So this blockchain technology, as well as the crypto trading, the dynamic, the volatility, definitely present a great learning opportunity as well as a challenge. Three, I have to tell you, at the end of the day, every single day, you spend almost half of your time work. There is no better than working with a group of people that come from a similar background, have as much as the same level of passion and conviction in what you do.
Yeah,
that is what really, for me, being on the street, working with, building different organizations, this is what really drives me a day, every single day, is working with a huge amount of talent and huge amount of passion, as well as everybody believing the similar discipline, management principle, and drive, to your point, drive. And everybody wants to, bring it from good to better and build something that lasts. So it comes down to the team.
I really appreciate your honest reply to my question. Just to tone down the tension a little bit, is it your first time visit to Korea?
Yes. Actually,
it's your first time.
It is the first time.
Okay,
I travel a lot extensively, and but this is indeed the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, I take it you're enjoying your stay here.
Absolutely.
As you know, despite the recent government regulations in Korea, people in Koreans are still more than interested in the cryptocurrency. Do you actually feel the vibe here, the crypto vibe? And have you had a chance to communicate with Koreans here?
Yeah, our trip here, there are a couple of purposes, right? One is really to have this, marketing branding activity this afternoon, actually this evening, about meet up with a lot of users to understanding their needs, understanding what their views are, to basically understand the market, right? And also we have the second purpose is really to meet up with a lot of the potential projects that we could provide a different a value-added service, whether it's listing, whether it's incubating, and so we've lined up a couple very promising projects, and it touches upon different aspects of the blockchain application, and then the third is just really, I have to tell you, when we're looking at it, we analyze our trading statistics quite in real-time term. Again, this is coming from equity trading. You have to know the trades. Okay. You have to know your customer. You have to know what they want.
It's kind of your Wall Street background.
Yeah, real time. And then this is what regulator will ask you. How many people trade, what their trading behavior, where did you do the execution? I mean, this is the transparency we're getting. So when we analyze our trading statistic, we've noticed we have a huge amount of, number one, users from Korea.
Okay.
Number two, the trading activity.
Okay.
So it is actually,
no,
it is. So when I look at some of the rapid development in the Korean market, it's actually very impressive that Korean market is like the third market behind the US and behind Japan in terms of buying the
volume.
The volume. It's amazing.
A collaborative ecosystem. How do you think, what exactly is this system and how do you think this benefits the users in your platform?
Because coming from a traditional Wall Street, it's very different. So the Wall Street face off, most is institutional investors, not a very much large user communities in such what they call the grassroots base.
So if I may put it, it's not user-friendly.
Because you look at Wall Street, you're dealing with a large percentage of volume coming from institution. So if you want to put an order, you don't put an order directly on the exchange. You put an order to your broker. And broker will consolidate all the orders and put a large order on the exchange. So from an exchange perspective, I rarely directly deal with users in the cryptocurrency world. So for any exchange in the traditional finance perspective, their main relationship is with the broker, with the dealers, with hedge fund, with mutual fund. However, in the blockchain crypto exchange, when you look at it, it's very community is the most important thing. So in terms of from our business model, especially for Bitmax, one of the business model we're looking at from attracting the liquidity, exchange is all about liquidity, is actually to have a very collaborative relationship with the communities and having some kind of transaction mining to encourage the community, the users directly participating in the trading and having an economic mechanism to incentivize, to increase the trading, to share the profit, share the platform profit. We share profit with them. We think it's the best alignment. So basically, if you look at the transaction mining, I think there are a couple exchange on the Korean market. They also have a transaction mining model, OKX. They all have a similar model. For us, when we look at it, is the way to attract the user, to align the economic interest. Three is actually to build up the liquidity, the volume. And then hopefully with that solid foundation, because the economic interest is aligned and it's a better way to understand the community and user better, then we hope with the stability, transparent platform that we are building, will get the user to stay with us.
Yes, I love the enthusiasm from your area. I guess that is all for today, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but be sure to check out Bitmax, and we'll be back with more news. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
And thanks once again, Ariel.
Great pleasure.